Hey guys, Solar here, back again with another review, and today we'll be taking a look at the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Collectabuild Atrocitus Wave Black Lantern Superman. Now before we get into it here, let's first take a look-see at both the front and the back of the packaging. So without further ado, let's get into it. Now before we get into the meat and taters of this review, Black Lantern Superman does come with a collectible trading card featuring a heavily photoshopped image of the figure in question here. That said, there's a bio on the back that you can pause and read at your own leisure. But for those of you unfamiliar, much like the Batman I took a look at yesterday, this is not the Clark Kent we all know and love. This is Superman of Earth 2 or 3. Let's just say it's not the traditional Man of Steel, but one from an alternate reality, because while the Superman we all know and love does become a Black Lantern, he's a little bit more fresh, whilst this guy has been, well, dead for a while, and as you can tell by the face, has rotted away a little bit. So, with that being said, take a closer look at good old Supes here. It does come with a McFarlane Toys hockey puck display stand that we're used to seeing in this line, and many other McFarlane Toys lines, I am sure. Really dig this guy. I do actually have the old DC Direct / Collectibles version of this figure, or character I should say, and for the most part, I think McFarlane Toys nailed it as far as comic book accuracy goes. Though I would have liked a different expression on the face. The old DC Direct / Collectibles one is kind of snarling, whereas this one's just kind of bored. So I would have liked open mouth, much like the Black Lantern Batman who we took a look at yesterday. He had a really intense head sculpt, and so does Necron, who we will be taking a look at on Friday. So stay tuned for that. That said, as far as articulation goes, his head is on a double ball peg. Noticing a pattern here. So he can look up, he can look down, he can tilt side to side, disc hinge, eat your heart out. Shoulders can go out to the side, back down. He's got that butterfly. Of all the figures, the Black Lantern figures I'm taking a look at this week anyways, he's got the best kind of butterfly movement, but his are also the most loose. After him, I'd probably say Black Lantern Batman, but I'm sure you could take some kikis and stiffen that up if you really wanted to. It's nothing that bad. It will maintain a pose, so it's not that loose. It's, I guess, butter smooth, if anything. That said, his shoulders can go out to the side, back down. Not sure if I mentioned that already, but if not, well, I did again. He's got a bicep swivel, double jointed elbow, which, bottom joint's good. Top joint's kind of but not bad. Again, if anyone's going to be missing chunks, it's going to be a zombie, right? And he's got the ball hinge wrists that rotate at the top, hinge in the middle, and swivel at the bottom. He's got two fists, which for Superman I think is exceptional. Would have liked an alternate set of open kind of zombie-looking hands, but I like the fists. The fists are good. I'm not sure if the infected Superman hands will work on this guy because his hands are not as dead looking as the rest of him. I mean, I think the arms and the face and even the torso a little bit, you can see how much meat's missing up in there. The hands seem a little bit less grotesque and could pass as regular fist hands, so if you wanted to do that, I guess you could maybe find some hands to swap onto this guy, right? That said, his torso can crunch really far forward. Look at that. Ab crunch, eat your heart out. And he can tilt back pretty far too. Look at this. Holy cow. He can do the limbo. Anyone remember the old limbo game with the chicken? You had to go under his crotch to win? Probably not. Random tangents aside, he does have a swivel in the torso, as well as a little bit of tilt. He's got a waist swivel too, but the diaper kind of hinders it, especially when you get the diaper caught underneath it there. Let's see if I can pull that back out. It has a tendency to get stuck on the bottom, so I'll be wary of that. It does happen. His hips can kick out to the side a little bit. The diaper kind of pushes him back down. Kick forward, kick back. He's got a thigh cut in there. He's got the best thigh cut in the whole wave. Let me check this side. Yeah, he's got the best thigh cut in the whole wave. Are these straps supposed to be silver? I think they are. Are they silver? I can't tell. I'm legally blind. He's got double jointed knee. I think he's probably got the weakest so far, especially the top one here. Although they all seem to be kind of on par with each other, if I'm being honest. Then he's got the sculpted ankle balls, which I'm not a fan of because most of them are freaking loose and not worth the shit. But they do look nice, I guess. That really bothers you. It never bugged me. I was okay with the ball joint ankles. But he does have hinge forward and back, as well as a swivel at the top, rocker at the bottom, toe joint loose on that side, tight on this side. This side is really good. The other side, not so much. So take that for what you will. This diaper seems to have flexed back into place, which is nice. Silver paint, a little chunky here and there, but it's silver. If you want to touch that up, silver Sharpie is the best option, in my opinion. I will say, I do like the cape on this thing. It's got multiple segments, kind of like Azrael. I almost think it was a Black Lantern around this time, too. But really awesome figure. One of the best Superman figures, in my opinion, because, in my opinion, the best kind of Superman is a dead one. Or Steel or Cyborg Superman. I will make exceptions for them. He does have a Black Lantern ring on this finger. I believe on this hand. Or is it this hand? Can't remember. I know Deathstorm, I think, had one on the grip hand, but it's hard to tell because it's such a small detail, you know? But I really like this figure. I like him a lot. Is he top 10 of the year for DC Multiverse? I don't think so. I know Deathstorm definitely is because he looks like Ghost Rider, and y'all know I have a unfair bias towards Ghost Rider in regards to, you know, damn near everything, right? But with that being said, let's now move on and take a look at some size comparisons. First up, here's the Black Lantern Superman alongside the other Black Lantern figures from the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse line I've already taken a look at on this channel for my Halloween Spooktacular, Deathstorm, and the Black Lantern Batman. Check those out if you haven't already. Would really appreciate it if you did. That said, as I said before, in both the Deathstorm and Black Lantern Batman videos, I do really like how these three look together and think they scale quite nicely. However, that's not to say I'm opposed to getting more Black Lanterns in the DC Multiverse line at some point in the near to distant future, particularly a Flash and Aquaman, since I think they could get away with a lot of reuse to make Black Lanterns of those particular characters. However, I am also unopposed to getting a Hawkman, Hawkgirl, Martian Manhunter, Deadman, and especially a Black Hand, since he is the herald of Necron after all. And last but certainly not least, we have our two regulars, the Mythic Legions, Brother Mandibulus, and Levin Spawn, who's about neck and neck with good old Soups here. That said, we've gotten a Superman-Batman mashup. I think it's high time we got a Superman-Spawn mashup, because if that ain't terrifying, I don't know what is. So with that being said, time to wrap things up. Some final thoughts. Overall, and out of all of the Black Lantern figures I've taken a look at this past week from the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse line, Black Lantern Superman here is unfortunately my least favorite of the bunch, and I'm not 110% sure why. Personally, I think he would have benefited from a much more expressive head sculpt. He just seems bored and uninterested in being here, even though it is the Overlord Productions Halloween Spooktacular. You should be excited, but it's just something off about this figure that's keeping me from liking it as much as I would like to. That said, I do hope that we do get some more Black Lanterns in this line in the near to distant future, particularly a Black Lantern Flash or Aquaman, considering those could be retooled from the Aquaman and Dark Flash figures we already have. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you are so inclined, please don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you know whenever I upload more reviews like this one. If you haven't already, please hit me up on Instagram at Overlord Productions. But as always, keep the comments civil, because the world sucks enough as it is, especially when you want to like something more than you do, but you just can't for one reason or another. Don't get it twisted. Compared to the rest of the DC Multiverse line, this is one of the better releases of the past year, but as far as the Black Lanterns are concerned, not so much. Until next time, I'll catch you guys later.